Hi everyone, this is Arcadius and welcome back to Naval Creed. Today we will be going over the first destroyer of the American Tech Tree Split line for destroyers, but before that we do have a few updates to go over that we haven't yet. We have about 3 weeks of updates, and it's been such a long time because I've decided to stop recording videos for the Stats Clash. It doesn't seem like they're very popular, and it's honestly a lot of work to do so, so if they're not going to be popular, then I'm just going to wait to do them for right now, which is fine with me. Um, but yeah, until I might continue them later on, but for right now, I'm just going to stop with them and just do videos of new ships. So we have 3 updates to go over, but not a lot of new material. So I guess first things first is we now have all the destroyers for the American Tech Tree line split. We have Benham or Gridley, we have Porter or Selfridge, and we now have Somers as well as of last week. And we'll be going through all 3 of these ships, starting with Benham today. But before we get to that, a couple other changes. There is a new sister ship, this time for a Japanese battleship. That is Shinomi, and I've renamed her Azumi. And this is what she looks like. Nice green camo. Pretty straightforward, nothing special there. And we also have a preview of an American carrier Hornet. This is a special carrier that we've actually known about since last January, I think. It's been about a year or so. She has B-25 land-based medium bombers. Now, the thing about these is that they are a one-shot pony kind of idea, because once you use these aircraft, they can't land on the carrier, and you lose them for sure. That leaves you with only torpedo bombers and fighters, which isn't necessarily bad, but losing all those aircraft is definitely going to take a toll on the way that your battle is played. However, with the amount of dive bombers you can equip at one time, 16 at one time, and they're all doing 4,500 damage, I'm expecting these to be a very, very good high explosive spam, kind of. We'll see how their accuracy is. Other ships, anything else? There's been some changes to stats, such as the British cruisers that are not really released yet. Some American carriers, German battleship or two. However, the main big thing is that we now have a new consumable, or I should say a module, because it's not really something you can use as a consumable. And that is for all battleships only, matchmaking tier 8.8 and above. So this includes like Iowa and, Super Yamato, ships like that. So pretty much tier 9 and tier 10 ships. And it is anti-air enhancement module. So what this does, where the AA guns enhancement module increases your range by 20%, this one increases your damage by 30%. And it's definitely worth it. Couple notable ships to use it on. Iowa is one of them, and then Jean Bart is another one since she has defensive AA. I'm trying it out on Akaishi or Yamato Refit with mixed results so far, but it's the best kind of AA ship I'm going to get for a Yamato class. But you can equip it on any ship, like I said, 8.8 or above. I don't really have it on many though, because I focus on either accuracy or secondaries or gun rotation and reload primarily. Not really focused on AA except for American battleships. So Iowa and Montana have it. I don't think anyone else has it. Missouri is reload and rotation. Orion is accuracy. Louisiana is also accuracy. Illinois is secondaries. Maryland is rotation, or Virginia, and then Rhode Island is just straight guns. She doesn't even have enough AA to make it worthy. But the stats themselves, I mean, base Iowa stats, you can increase them even more now, and with the captain skill, you can still increase your range, just not by 40% if you coupled it with the module as well, only 20%. But yeah, pretty interesting. It's made Iowa gameplay a lot more fun. I played it more now than Missouri, probably. Actually, that's pretty doubtful, but it's still a really fun new module. With that, we're gonna go back to the destroyers, starting with Benham. So the best way to describe the American tech tree split is that these are the American version of Japanese destroyers. What I mean by that is that you have really good speed, really good torpedoes, but your guns are trash, kind of, at least in this case they are, and your AA is practically non-existent. However, you do get a ton of torpedoes to spam. This ship has 16 torpedoes on it, which is the most for a destroyer, I'm pretty sure. There are some other ships that have more, such as, well, Kitsukami for one, but you also have Takao and Maya that can also launch 16 torpedoes. But yeah, as a destroyer, she has a lot of torpedoes. She only has 4 guns though, which kind of makes her hard to play. She's very similar to Sims, except you have twice the torpedo mounts, but you still have the same amount of guns and the same kind of layout and the same kind of playstyle. So let's take a look to see what we have. Well, we have armor here, I guess you can see. She doesn't have much armor. It's about 19 millimeters, which is not going to stop anything at all. She has a 14,900 health, fully upgraded. And yeah, she has the 4 127s. They're not bad guns, but you just don't have enough to make them useful. Similar to how I said Kagero, where she only has the 4 guns, but can't really do much with them. But they're not bad guns, they're just straight up American battleship guns, the destroyer guns. Torpedoes, 10 kilometers, good damage, okay speed. However, the rate of fire is what gets me. It's 0.48 rounds a minute. I mean, I have that mitigated a little. I have mine up to 0.56 rounds a minute. But even then, it still takes forever and a day to reload these torpedoes. And honestly, your torpedoes are the only way you're going to do damage. So once you launch them, you have to wait around and wait for them to reload. And during that time, you don't really have any AA to protect yourself. You don't have your guns to really do anything. You struggle to take on another destroyer as an equal. And you just don't really have anything, honestly. So I was hoping it'd be a fun destroyer, but it's not really something I'm enjoying so far. Gun range is 11.3 kilometers and a max speed of 38.5 knots. She is a very fast ship. Fully concealed, she has a concealment of 6.1 kilometers, and you can see her non-existent AA right here. I would be very surprised if you shot down more than 2 aircraft in a game. You have damage control party, a smokescreen, and a speed boost. She is okay-ish. Her torpedo angles are trash. She's not very maneuverable either. She may have a fast rudder shift, but her actual, what is it? The rudder circ radius is actually pretty bad, especially when you're at speed. So I'm not really a fan of this ship, but the one after her, Selfridge, and, well, I've only played one game in Somers, but I'm pretty sure Somers is kind of with Benham and that she's kind of underpowered, at least in terms of the way I like to play destroyers. But Selfridge is the best one I've played so far. She's such a fun ship. She's pretty much just a light cruiser or a scout cruiser. Alright, so enough talk. Let's toss Benham into a game and see what we can do. Alright, here we have ourselves a game. We have a carrier, 3 battleships, 3 cruisers, and 2 destroyers. So actually a pretty good game, not gonna lie. We're not going to do anything to that carrier because our AA is not going to do anything at all. Battleships, Veneto is pretty dangerous. King George in North Carolina, they are, but they're also pretty squishy, I would say. The cruisers, I'd like to stay away from them as best as possible. And even the destroyers, I just don't really have any good way of playing the ship. It's just like Kagero, and as you're probably well aware of, I don't really like playing Kagero. It's just you're waiting around for torpedoes to reload, and if they miss, then you have to wait a minute and a half for them to do, well, hopefully something next time. Yep, so torpedo angles, absolute garbage. They're better forward than backwards, so I guess that's a plus if you're rushing, but you don't really want to be rushing. You kind of want to be kiting with this shit. Gun angles, yep, not the best, but not the worst either, I guess. Speed is pretty exceptional. I do have health buffs and speed buffs applied, and that is why I'm almost hitting 50 knots. But she is pretty fast even without those. But yeah, you can, here, let me just show you how long it takes for you to turn. Okay, so this is a turn to the left. Your rudder goes over really quickly, but you don't seem to be turning at all. So you do have to keep that in mind when you're playing this ship, is that if you're trying to dodge torpedoes or not get rammed by a ship, yeah, you're going to want to slow it down before you do that. I'm actually just going to turn my AA off right now because it's not even going to do much as it is. Now let's see if we can engage some of these destroyers. The guns, like I said, they're not bad, but you only have 4 of them, and that really makes a difference. Benson has 5, but that one extra gun is kind of game-changing when it comes to this ship. And Benson also has 10 torpedoes to his side versus Benham's 4 torpedoes, or 8 torpedoes, I should say. Benham may get more torpedoes altogether, but Benson can also get the torpedo reload booster. So she can send out 20 per side. I'm thinking about smoking up here. I am detected, so I don't really have a choice now, but we're gonna just stick around here for a second and work on these destroyers. Or at least the destroyer. She smoked up as well. I don't think I have enough lead to shoot that destroyer, so we're just going to shoot some of these cruisers with high explosive for a second. But yeah, very high angle shells. They're good for firing over islands if that's what you're good at. But if you're trying to hit anything at range, you got to give a lot of lead. And here's the Benham. Alright, let's finish her off here. So she can't really take a lot of damage either, as you can see. And there she goes. Alright, what is next? Oh, the Zipper's coming close. Might as well turn my AA on since I'm going to be shooting. Ooh, we got a fire, that's nice. Your high explosive damage is consistent. Ooh, 2 fires. But not a lot. And there she goes. Boom. Oh, there's another destroyer. But also another cruiser. Alright, let's see if we can get a couple more fires or so. Torpedoes have reloaded. Another fire, awesome. Hesitant to fire torpedoes because of my team. It's not the first time I've hit my team with my own torpedoes before. It really sucks and I don't like it. But with 10-kilometer torpedoes, it's not unheard of. Let's see if we can Citadel this Neptune, actually. We're close enough to. Might as well try. 3 Citadels, awesome. No torpedo hit, but still 4 Citadels. There's 2 more, there she goes. Alright, what are we up against? King George is going that way, Veneto's going that way, North Carolina's coming this way, though. I don't know what she's going to do. I'm expecting her to turn out, so let's launch some torpedoes that way. Turn her AA off. It's not going to do anything anyways. We are detected. What is the question? Oh, the lightning. That would be it. Okay. Why do I have armor piercing? Oh, because of the Neptune. So let's just finish off this lightning real quick. Turn our AA back on, because why not? Excuse me. Oh, I got a torpedo hit? Awesome. So now we're going to go tangle with some battleships. That Veneto looks like a tasty treat. Let's go say hi to her. And we're going to shoot the North Carolina while we do so. Or at least attempt to. She's already getting out of range. In fact, I may just send some torpedoes towards Veneto without rushing her. And then head towards the North Cal and the King George, because that might help me in the long run. Though I do need to see her. Oh, there she is. Well, if she's gonna go aground, I don't really have a choice. Alright, Veneto, let's go. Torpedoes are ready. And they are out. Let's head this way so we can engage the rest of the team. Eight torpedoes should be enough, right? Wow, they actually missed? How did I do that? Alright, whatever. We still have 8 more. Well, this is kind of awkward. Alright, well, the torpedoes I do have are on the other side. So we just have to get into a spot where we can use them. That one hurt. Alright, trying to use my torpedoes, please. This isn't working. Alright, well, we're gonna die anyways, but we kind of got a good idea of how this ship plays. We're gonna try and smoke our way out so we're not detected. Maybe we can get away with this. This didn't really work out the way I wanted it to. Oop. Oh, yeah. Alright, the last turret. So, yeah, we got a sunk, but that's fine. We're going to wait till this game finishes to review what we did. Alright, well, it wasn't really a pretty game. Only 61,000 damage, 1 ship sunk, 93 shell hits, 1 torpedo hit, 9 citadels, 4 fires. Not a lot of damage either. So, yeah, you can see how I'm not really a fan of this ship. I've had 2 games trying to record this video, and both of them were pretty trash, but this one at least almost made it to the end. But yeah, your guns, not bad, just not enough. Torpedoes are good, but they take forever and a day to reload. Your ship is fast, but therefore cannot turn very well. And you have no AA. So if carrier sees you, just run away fast as possible. Yeah, not really a good introduction to this line because starting with Selfridge or Porter, it gets infinitely better, I assure you. Yes, you lose half of your torpedo tubes, but you double the amount of guns you have, and that makes a hell of a difference. So with that, we'll wrap up today's video. If you liked the video, make sure you like and subscribe for further content, and I will see you all tomorrow as we go over Porter or Selfridge. So again, thank you and take care.